Hi children, it's Grandma Carla with chapter 10 of the Dabble surprise. Later, Abby ran back home. She dashed to her sister's room. How could you? What? Carly asked. You showed Jimmy our secret place, Abby hollered. So what? Abby stared at Carly. You didn't tell him our secret code, did you? Carly frowned. What's wrong with you, Abby? Nothing. Carly lined up her stuffed animals in a row on her bed. Abby, why don't you like Jimmy and Sungjin? Abby held her breath. They aren't sisters, Abby said slowly. That's why. Wednesday at breakfast, Mother said, come home right after school. All bedrooms must be cleaned. Mine is clean, Carly said. Spotless? Mother asked. Carly nodded. What's the hurry? Abby asked. Mrs. Roop is coming after supper, Mother said. What for? Carly asked. For a visit, Mother said. She wiped the table. To check our rooms? Carly asked. Abby wished Carly would stop asking questions. She felt like a jitterbox again. Mother knew more than she was telling. She was sure of it. Abby followed her mother downstairs. It's about keeping the boys, isn't it? Mother sat on the sofa. She patted the pillow beside her. How do you feel about that? Abby's brain was in a whirl. She felt all mixed up. I like Jimmy and Sungjin. It's not that. It's just I had my hopes on getting girls. I know, honey. So did I. Mother hugged Abby close. Let's pray about it, okay? Abby nodded. Later, she walked to school by herself. It was a good time to talk to God alone. After supper, Mrs. Roop sat in the living room with Abby's parents. They talked for a long time. Mrs. Roop visited Abby's room first. She closed the door and sat on the bed. She smelled like roses. I like your green and yellow wallpaper. It's lovely. Abby felt like a jitterbox. Mrs. Roop asked questions about Sungjin and Chun-Koo. Chun-Koo is Jimmy now, Abby said. Why doesn't anyone pay attention? Mrs. Roop asked more questions. They made Abby even more jittery. How would you like Sungjin and Chun-Koo, Jimmy, to be your brothers? What about our sisters? Abby asked. We've located them, she said. The girls are still in Korea. Your parents will have to file papers again. She paused. But the boys are happy here. It sounded like a question without a question mark. Abby wished she were alone in the secret place. She couldn't wait for Mrs. Roop to leave. Bath time! Jimmy was yelling. Ever since the first night in America, Jimmy hated baths. Father gave him one anyway. Jimmy squealed louder and louder. Maybe he's scared, thought Abby. She searched for her old plastic duck. She found it in a shoebox in her closet. Knocking on the bathroom door, Abby showed the duck to her father. Will this help? Quickly, the squealing stopped. After his bath, Jimmy brought the drippy duck to Abby. Keep it, she said. It's yours. Jimmy hugged the duck. Abby wanted to hug him, but she didn't. Later, Sungjin asked Abby if they could visit Stacy's puppy. We'll go after school tomorrow, Abby promised. Sungjin was grinning, really grinning. Abby wondered what it would be like having Sungjin for a brother. But at bedtime, she prayed for her sisters in Korea. And this is Grandma Carla with more of Double Dabble Surprise. And I love you.